Hey guys! So, I thought I would start this vlog of what's been going on around here. Um, I know I have a lot to show you, but what I am going to have brought in is a greenhouse, and it's kind of it's like a shed with a greenhouse. So it's a 12 by 20 shed slash greenhouse, so I have a place to store my rakes and shovels and hoses and stuff, so they're not in my husband's shed. So also on the flip side of that, in the past I've had a greenhouse, which I love greenhouses. I love having my own space. I can grow things in there like tomato plants and stuff. I've actually started my tomato plants, so I'll show you those. But I will show you, I actually came out here to like do some measuring because I'm going to stick the, so you can kind of see, I kind of want to stick the greenhouse kind of over like from here to here in this area here. And then I do on this hill over here, I kind of want to put a little garden so I can grow my tomato plants that I already have started, and some of like green beans and potatoes. And over the winter I want to plant some garlic, because I love garlic, and I want to make the garlic butter from the scapes that come up. So I'm like super excited about doing all this, but I thought I would like bring you along and show you everything. But what I'm going to do right now is kind of find some spray paint in my husband's garage and see if I can kind of mark out where I want this greenhouse to go. But like right where Rowan is standing, there's like a little ramp that kind of goes up the hill, and that gives us access to, like, we have a paper burn pile back there, so if we want to go burn some stuff we can have access. I actually hunt back here, so instead of climbing the hill, I'll take that. You can see my dog, he's doing his standard roll down the hill. But we drive up there with our side-by-sides and stuff like that, so I kind of wanted to have that little spot open. So I'm gonna go grab a tape measure and I'm gonna measure out a 12 by 20 spot for my greenhouse over here, and then maybe I can figure out how big of a garden spot that I want to make over here. So then when I get my greenhouse brought in, I can show you that and it'll be great. So come along for this. So in the meantime, I'm going to go grab a tape measure so I can come over here and measure it out. So right back. Okay, so I got my tape measure and Sunshine Red. I didn't think it would take me that long because my boys always have tons of spray paint around, but I had to actually dig for this. So here we go. Hang on. So I think the shed is deeper than the greenhouse. I know it is, but I'm just gonna still measure out 12 by 20. That's actually perfect. I thought for some reason in my mind I was thinking it's going to take up this whole area, but it's not. It's actually going to end right there. So I'll still have space to go up the hill, and I'm not blocking anything. But also I want it tucked back a little bit more than whatever. But anyway, so that's where it's going to go. So then if I swing this way, I was thinking over here, I can't block that right there. So in here is where I was thinking a small little garden. I'm struggling with actually the same size that I drew that one out at, like 12 by 20. I'll have to look at that again. But anyways, 12 by 20. I could do a 12 by 20 little garden space over here. And if you can see up on top of the hill above my head, that is all sand from this hill. And this hill is all sand, which works well in a garden because it filters the water on the bottom, so it's not like you put a whole bunch of topsoil in a garden and it just gets sloppy and whatever. At least it has some way to drain. So I'll be hauling sand down to put it in this garden space. So I'm gonna mark out where I want the garden to go, so I can show Eric this weekend, so I can be like over here, and he'll be like, oh great, something else for me to have to do. So so I think that's a pretty good sized garden for me to start out with this year, considering it's just me and Eric at home. But I always make enough for my kids, usually, like tomato soup, vegetable soup. I really want to grow my own green beans, stuff like that. So I think 12 by 20 is a good spot. I also have, I'll show you. So I also have like this little garden bed right here that I grow certain things in too. Last year I planted my mom a bunch of Swiss chard and she loved it, so it was just easy, and I grew it in there because I didn't really know how, I've never grown it before and I didn't know how testy it was going to be. So I was like, just for me to keep an eye on it, not actually put it in the ground. It was kind of like the only thing that I grew. But that's a good space for something else, but it would probably be that again, but majority of the stuff will go out here. But also with my greenhouse, I'll have space to just grow stuff in there and just leave it in there to grow the whole entire time, and I can just go in there and pick stuff, you know. But like cucumbers and zucchini and like those stuff I can plant out here because they get kind of viney and they can just go to town up the hill. So that's my plan. There'll be the greenhouse, a little bit of space, and then the garden over there. So that'll work out really, really nice. So, okay, I'm gonna go put this back and then I'll show you my tomato plants that are coming up. Hold on. Okay, so I'm super excited about this because I've never ever in my whole entire life have ever grown my own tomato plants. I've always gone to the greenhouse somewhere and bought them, and they've always been, you know, sometimes 8 to 10 to 12 inches tall, and that's like the easy button. But I went down and did a heirloom seed class with a friend of mine, Lynn. She's got Life Root Farm, and sat in on one of her classes, and she had all her seeds, and I thought, you know what, I have enough time this year, maybe I'll just do my own. So I did. So I'm going to show you. So I bought one of these off of Amazon, and they're relatively cheap enough. I think I paid like $24 for it, but it comes with like this lid with the lights, and it's got like these like little, they're like vents, so they turn, easy to put in. These little lights actually just like pop out. Should probably go get my stand, it'd be easier for me, but they pop out. So I've done this already where I've popped them out and I've stuck them outside in like the real sunlight so they get like the heat and all of that. I think I fucked that up, but we'll be fine. It'll be okay, right? It'll be okay. Okay, anyway, so back to this. So this pad is like heated. It can like, it's heated. So like you put your pad down your stuff, so like the bottom of this tray is like super warm, and it's good for the plants because it just promotes them to start growing. But if I'm going to show you, they're kind of hard to see. I'm going to like put this down, and I wanted you to see, like, I might have to use the light, but do you see like the little plants. They're like already growing, and I'm so excited about it. Like they're super little, but oh, I'm so happy they're growing. It makes me so excited. And I did San Marzano. I can't even read my own writing. And Santa Maria. I think I got the Santa Maria from Lynn. So, and they're growing really, really well. So I'm super excited about that. Anywho, I got those going, and then actually in my kitchen right now, I have I bought strawberry plants, and I started those. Them are coming up. They're just like tiny, 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 but they're coming out of the ground, so I'm super happy about that one too. But I move them outside, so when it gets really nice and sunny and hot, I move them outside because it makes them stronger. So like when the wind blows or whatever, like they just love that, and then it makes them stronger. So once I finally move them outside, they'll be good to go. I could go in and show you. Oh, I also started my basil, but I have like a ton of seeds that I do want to get planted, but time will tell what I end up planting and what I won't. But my greenhouse is supposed to be done middle of May. They said 6 to 8 weeks, so I ordered it April 1st. So I'm guessing May it'll come in, and that's about the time that people start planting their gardens. So I think in the meantime, before my greenhouse actually comes, I'll probably work on the garden space, which I'll have to get like some treated boards, which you know, I could do 20 footers or 2 10 footers, whatever, to get it going and get it up so I can start getting soil put in and figure out where I'm gonna do or get my topsoil from. So, but in the meantime, that's what I've been up to. Maybe in between doing the garden spot, I'll do that. I can like show you my chicken coop and my chickens and stuff like that. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep trucking. And once I get my boards for my garden spot, I'll be back on here to show you that. So in the meantime, take care. See you later. Bye-bye.